Okay, as I'm getting situated up here, if any of you guys want to come up and join me with your pillows, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm not nearly as tall as Val, so we have to adjust this. Not even close. Well, I wanted to start off this week. Sorry, can't type and talk at the same time. I wanted to thank you guys. I put out a couple things that we needed for the shoe boxes, and everything came in that we asked you for, so thank you guys very much. We are going to be taking the kids, the teens, out to the foyer to start working on those after the service, so you guys are welcome to join us out there if mom and dad say it's okay. Stephanie says there's still one last thing that we need for the shoe boxes to pack, the number that she has in mind here, and she is 15 pencil sharpeners short. I know that's a really specific number, but we are 15 pencil sharpeners short. And I also wanted to let you guys know that we are working on opening up children's church, the nursery breakout for the kids and the teens. On the back table right in the center, there is an opening plan for all of those areas. So if that affects you in any way, please grab one of those. If you have any questions, please come and find me. I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, now that that part of the stuff is done, I'm going to start by reading Genesis 1, chapters 9. Oh, no, not chapters 9. Genesis chapter 1, verses 9 through 13. God said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered into one place. Let dry ground appear." And that's exactly what happened. God called the dry ground land, and he called the waters that were gathered together oceans. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the land produce plants. Let them bear their own seeds. And let there be trees on the land that bear fruit with seeds in it. Let each kind of plant or tree have its own kind of seeds." And that's exactly what happened. The land produced plants. Each kind of plant had its own kind of seeds. The land produced trees that bore fruit with seeds in it. Each kind of tree had its own kind of seeds. God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning on the third day. Too much stuff going on up here this morning. How many of you have ever planted your own garden? Started from tiny seeds and watching them grow into great big plants producing flowers, fruits, and vegetables? Yeah? Only 2 of you have? You guys didn't help? Maybe a little bit? Yeah. We did one this summer too. And it was pretty fun. I liked watching them grow. We are going to start with our Dinosaur book by Michelle Medlock Adams. It's called Dinosaur Devotions. It is illustrated by Denise Turu, published by Tommy Nelson Publishing. Can you imagine a 260-pound dinosaur coming from an egg no bigger than a common sparrow's egg? Now, show me how big a chicken egg is. Like this, right? Chicken egg, well, maybe that's a little big. That was pretty big. That's a pretty big chicken.
Same as the normal type of egg.
Exactly, the normal egg like you would eat for breakfast. That's a chicken egg. A sparrow's egg is maybe like a quarter of that size, so it's teeny tiny. So that's how big this dinosaur egg was. The big Mosasaurus had such small beginnings. When its hatchling's remains were first discovered in 1979, it was called the world's smallest dinosaur. But that wasn't exactly true. Later, research proved that the average Mosasaurus adult probably weighed over 150 pounds and was 10 feet long. The tiniest dino was the, oh boy, I should have Danny read this one for me. The Anchiornis? Am I close? We're gonna call it that because I don't know. The Anchiornis, which was only 16 inches long, so kind of like the size of a chicken or a small turkey. Still, the fact that such a large dinosaur could come from such a tiny egg is interesting. If we had been around to watch this dino grow up, we'd probably be pretty amazed at how big God created this dinosaur to be. God can take something small and makes something quite big and impressive out of it. He even talks about that in the Bible. Matthew 17:20 says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." In other words, out of something so small, faith the size of a mustard seed, God can produce big miracles. So if you feel too little or too young to do big things for God, don't worry. God can use you right now. You could send thank you cards to military men and women serving our country, or you could organize a group of kids to do yard work for some of the disabled or elderly people in your neighborhood. You're not too little to do big things for God. Jesus can take something very small, like a seed, and grow it into something huge that can do amazing things. In Danny's garden this summer, we planted all kinds of seeds. We had tomatoes, we had cucumbers, we had peppers, we had carrots. I couldn't even begin to tell you what all we had. But the little seeds that grew the biggest were the pumpkins. His tomato plants also grew pretty big, let me be honest about that, but I don't think he got a tomato nearly the size of a pumpkin. This seed doesn't seem very big, does it? But it's actually one of the largest seeds that we planted. Some of them were so small, you wouldn't be able to see them if I held them up. From small seeds, God can make huge things. Danny's gonna come help me this morning pick up some huge things. Danny. Okay, that one. Oh, you gotta hold it up so everybody can see it. Now, not all pumpkins grow huge, right? This was actually the biggest pumpkin that Danny grew in his garden this year. It's actually quite cute. We're gonna make pie from it, right? Yeah. A small pie, a very small pie, like maybe single serve, yeah. But some pumpkins do grow really big. You wanna grab the other one? Broke off piece of the stem. It's a lot bigger than this one. You can set it down, but you don't have to stand there and hold it the whole time. Thank you for your help. That was all I needed. You can stay here if you want to. So we planted, and we watered, and we waited, and we watched. And God grew a huge pumpkin. Now what? What do we do with this? Is this it? We just get a pumpkin? What?
Carve it.
We can carve it. What else can we do with it? We could eat it.
Or smash it.
Well, that might be kind of fun. Yeah, just like throw it off the porch and yes, we could totally do that. I like that idea. We could what? I didn't hear what you said.
Cut it.
We could cut it.
And
Yeah.
we can sell it.
We could sell it. Lots of people sell them. That's actually how we got the big ones. What did you want? Yes. How many of you guys ate pumpkin seeds this year? Yes, that's one of our favorite things to do when we carve ours open. You can make pie. You can make pumpkin rolls. Does anybody make pumpkin roll? That's one of Pastor Dan's favorite things. But I don't make it because I'm just not that talented. Do you make pumpkin roll? Yeah, it's good. So, yeah, he's back there giving me the thumbs up. Yeah, that's good stuff. Pumpkins can be made into all kinds of things. God just didn't grow this huge thing and then let it sit there in the yard. He gave us all kinds of things that we can do with it. And just like this little pumpkin seed, God grows us and uses us to do great big things. Mark chapter 4, verses 26 through 33 says, if I can find it here, Jesus also said, "Here's what God's kingdom is like. A farmer scattered seeds on the ground. Night and day, the seed comes up and grows. It happens whether the farmer sleeps or gets up. He doesn't know how it happens. All by itself, the soil produces grain. First, the stalk comes up, then the head appears. Finally, the full grain appears in the head. Before long, the grain ripens, so the farmer cuts it down. because the harvest is ready. Again, Jesus said, "What can we say God's kingdom is like? What story can we use to explain it? It is like a mustard seed, which is the smallest seed planted in the ground. But when you plant the seed, it grows. It becomes the largest of all garden plants. Its branches are so big that the birds can rest in its shade." Using many stories like those, Jesus spoke the word to them. Jesus used stories. He used illustrations and pictures of things to teach his disciples and to teach the crowds around him. He talked a lot about seeds, how they grow, when they grow the best, and our part in planting, watering, and harvesting. I'm going to go back to Mark chapter 4. I'm going to read the beginning of the chapter, verses 1 through 8. Again, Jesus began to teach by the Sea of Galilee. The crowd that gathered around him was very large. So he got into a boat. He sat down in it out on the lake. All the people were along the shore at the water's edge. He taught them many things by using stories. In his teachings, he said, "Listen, a farmer went out to plant his seed. He scattered the seed on the ground. Some fell in a path, birds came and ate it up. Some seeds fell on rocky places where there wasn't much soil. The plants came up quickly because the soil wasn't deep. When the sun came out, it burned the plants. They dried up because they had no roots. Other seeds fell among the thorns. The thorns grew up and crowded out the plants, so the plants did not bear grain. Still other seed fell on good soil. It grew up and produced a crop, 30, 60, or even 100 times more than what the farmer planted." We are like these little seeds. I keep losing it. It blends in with this tablecloth. We are like these little seeds. When we hear about and we believe in Jesus, we grow. But how we grow depends on the soil that we are surrounded with. If we surround ourselves with rich, nutritious soil, then we're going to grow not tiny. We're going to grow 30, 60, or 100 times bigger. Like a seed in good soil, God grows us and uses us to do great things. Our memory verse this week is Mark 4, 31 and 32. "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which is the smallest of all seeds on earth. But when you plant the seed, it grows. It becomes the largest of all garden plants." I know that's kind of long, but why don't you guys try and say it with me? Mark 4, 31 and 32.
Mark 4, 31 and 32.
"The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed,
The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed,
which is the smallest of all seeds on earth.
which is the smallest of all seeds on earth.
But when you plant the seed,
But when you plant the seed,
it grows.
it grows.
It becomes the largest of all garden plants."
It becomes the largest of all garden plants.
All right, let's try it one more time. Mark 4, 31 and 32.
Mark 4, 31 and 32.
"The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed,
The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed,
which is the smallest of all seeds on earth.
which is the smallest of all seeds on earth.
But when you plant the seed, it grows.
But when you plant the seed, it grows.
It becomes the largest of all garden plants."
It becomes the largest of all garden plants.
All right, good job, guys. We are going to head to the lobby with the kids, the teens. I would say anyone who wants to come help us, but somebody should probably stay here and listen to Pastor Dan talk too. But make sure you guys have permission before you come join us. We will be socially distancing out there and not sharing things. So, we also have a treat for them. Make sure it's okay before you come out that they are allowed to have that. Okay? Thanks, guys.